Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Staying inspired, I decided to make a first video in this month. Uh, if happens, maybe I will make more, but I think that I will just make it a habit. One time a month, as I have been talking about making a habit, a good habit that work for you and for the ones that works for me. It is very important to keep that habit with you living for 30 days, 30 long days, and do it every day, however you feel. Whatever you feel, or you feel sick, or you feel tired, you feel not doing it, just do it. Do it. I'm not like just do it, but really do it. Do it for yourself. Call it a good habit. Do not make a habit of smoking, because that's not a good habit. But you can make a habit. Uh, Taking another good habit as a substitute of that bad habit. For example, if you're a smoker, you can take and just make I don't know, vaping as a habit, and then eventually you just take it away from you. But this is not a topic here. What I wanted to say and what I wanted to talk about in this video is please do not listen what other people think that you should or not should do. Okay? You know who you are. Especially if you really know who you are, stick with that. Okay? There are some people who will just come and say, oh, you should do this like that way or this way. You should have not done it that way or whatever. Just have enough proportion of attitude to think for a second. You don't have to say it. You can think and have that attitude in you, and that and you can present that way. You don't have to say it all the time. You can stay nice. You have to be bold and strong, but nice. Okay, not rude. Nice and not rude. Okay, strong and nice. You just go ahead and say it to yourself. Who are you to tell me that? What have you done for me? It's not that anybody has to do for you, anything for you, but at least stay silent. Have you put a roof over my head? No, you didn't. Did you pay my bills? No, you didn't. Did you give me an education? What did you do for me? You just criticize me. That I say also, a good criticism is also a lifesaver. Good criticism is okay. It's I'm not saying that you should be egoistic person that do not accept advice or feedback. We do not give feedback if we are not asked for feedback. We do not give advices if we are not asked for advice, right? But since we are in the population of people who just go ahead and hand over advices, criticism, and whatsoever, you just go ahead and tell to yourself, you did not put a roof over my head. You did not pay my bills. You did not do anything for me to be the person to say what should I do with my life. Okay? Even if you did do that for me, you are still obligated to be nice to me, as I am obligated to be nice to you. Simple as that. There are some people who will just, when you ask him advices or whatsoever, they will be just cruel enough or mean enough or whatsoever enough just to say, do not be a hater, please. I'm not being a hater. I'm just trying to come across some situation that we are all going through in our lives. They just say, oh, when you say something like that, looking like that, whatever they meant, so beautiful, so whatever, so not beautiful, so whatever they meant, I see how other women or people look at you. Really. That is your perspective of you. That is who you are. That is how you see me. That is how you see you. That is not how I see myself. That is not how other people see me. That is not who I am. Please remember that. Do not allow anybody in your life to tell you what to do, how to behave, what to wear, whatever in your life. Be you, be authentic you. Just do with your life what you please. Be nice, be respectful, be God-fearing, be a decent human being. But know that we all have one God who guides us through life. And while he guides us through life, we have inner sense of what is right and what is wrong. That person who's telling you what to do and what not to do with your life are doing biggest mistakes in their own lives. Okay? They do mistakes, they're human, and that's normal, and that's all right. But that does not give them right, or me or you or anybody, to stick a finger in other person's life or nose. When we point our finger in another person, 3 fingers point to us, right? Right. So now, since we know those things, we should just develop ourselves, our souls. We should clean our hearts. We should just be the best version that we can be ever. We should do everything is in our power to be competent enough to give an advice if somebody asks us to raise a child, to first of all to do everything for ourselves, to be able to advise ourselves, to be able to raise ourselves. In a matter, if we were not given proper upbringing, then we should do to ourselves. We should just develop ourselves in the sense that we should be as a proper and normal human beings first to ourselves, and then we can give a value to other people. Then we can serve as a model and as a person of good advice, as a person who are nice and who are deserving of asking an advice and maybe turning to you in for help or whatever. And that's the whole point. The whole point that we develop ourselves, not other people. We do not change other people. We change ourselves. And you know what? I know it's hard. It's hard to co-work, co-parent, to live with people who are just trying to put you down, who are maybe manipulative, who are like having whatever traits. And we often hear narcissistic traits and being narcissistic and manipulative. We all have that, okay? We all have that. So we better take a look in ourselves, in our nafs, in our soul, in our being. Are we being narcissistic? Are we being manipulative? Are we being boring to other people? Are we being hard to live with? Are we being hard to speak with? Are we being hard to give advice? Are we being hard to whatever with? And then we can probably and maybe be people of competence and people of some kind of knowledge to be able to give to others. But we need to first develop everything in ourselves. If we don't do it, then we are just philosophers that speak and just do not do anything according to that speech. Because if we speak something and do not live that, then we have a huge problem. And some societies, they call it hypocrites. I will not call it that way. I'll just call it, you have a like a, maybe a flu or a disease of the character in maybe this moment, that you need some good cure, maybe some good herb or whatever that will help you to heal. Okay, we can all do it. It doesn't matter what happens in our lives. If we are willing to put a work in it, we can do it. We can really do it. So just please listen to yourself. Listen to your inner voice. Listen what your soul is trying to tell you. Listen that voice that they're all talking about. I'm not talking about waswasa. I'm talking about when you're connected to God. When you're really connected to God, when you really try to change, when you really work on yourself, when you're doing everything in your power to be better, when you are telling yourself and confessing to yourself that you're not good in some fields, that maybe you have some kind of flaws, that you have something to work on with your character. I'm talking about that stuff. And when you're ready to tell that to yourself, that's fantastic. That's like halfway through the process. It's painful. It's really painful because there will be a lot of hesitation, or a lot of I don't know even how to call it, a lot of maybe grief in the process, or you just do not want to do it, or maybe you are not willing to do it. It hurts so much that you just want to stop. And but the point is that you do it a little bit every day. For example, when we start reading Quran, okay, we do not start with a whole Surah Al-Baqarah, for example. Okay, those who know that will understand me. Or for example, for people who do not know what I'm talking about, we are not starting to read a whole book in one day or in 1 hour. No, we don't do that. We just take a little portion, right? We maybe read one page. For those who trying to read Quran and struggle with it, they maybe just try to read one ayah, and that is good enough, because those are little steps or baby steps that we are taking in order to get better in whatever we do. And that's what we do with everything. We start with baby steps. We start little, and then we add. Okay, we will not swallow 100 liters at a time. It's not possible. We'll take sip by sip. Okay. And when we are ready to do those things and those kind of work on us, we will do work every day, and we will after some time see a progress. And that progress is fantastic. It will take work. It will be painful. It will be maybe sometimes brokening. It will be sometimes like it will burn. You will feel that everything in you is screaming to stop. So just screaming, stop, I cannot handle it anymore. Stop, I don't want to do it. Stop, I'm feeling dizzy. Stop, I don't want to get out of the bed. Stop, I don't want to do this. But do it. Like, when you have a great day, read the most or do the most that you can. Okay. And then you will in your mental map, you will just make a streak. Okay, this is how much I can do when I feel my best. And then when you're on your lowest day, on your really bad day, just find the minimum that you can do, and then just say, okay, up This is how much I can do on my lowest day, on my really, really bad day. And then the middle is somewhere in between, okay? But you do the best. There will be probably at the beginning more days that are actually there will be more days with minimum effort, and that you will do minimum. There will be more like those like that, days like that, but doesn't matter. You just do it every day. Do it. Do not stop. Do not stop. Do not stop. Never, never. Do not stop. And do at least one thing every day for a whole month. Okay? And then after that, you will develop more. When you feel good, as I said, do the most. When you feel really bad, do the minimum. And then in between, just go from the minimum to the higher point, okay, of your achievement of the day. And you can set for yourself, I will read, for example, one page a day. And then after some time, you will just say, okay, now I'm ready to read 2 pages per day. Okay? And you will stick with those 2 pages until you're ready to get to 3 pages. And that's how we start reading and doing anything. That's what Quran taught me. Quran taught me that I should start with one ayah only. And I should stick with that one ayah for a whole month, really. And actually a whole month. And then afterwards I will do 2 ayahs and 3 and a half page and then a page. And I celebrated that page. I really celebrated. I thank God so much. So you do the same. You do the same this Ramadan. These days for you before Ramadan, just do it. Do it for yourself, do it for your soul. So she's not, your soul is maybe thirsty, hungry, and it needs it. It needs it so bad, okay? Do good affirmation. If you're not Muslim person, if you do not read Quran, just do some affirmative sayings to yourself. I'm being positive. I'm a good person. Other people love me. I love myself. I know I'm not so good. I'm bad at so many stuff and so many things, but I'm doing the best I can every day, and I will do it every day. I will do it every day for 30 days. This one thing I will do every day for 30 days. I will do my best. I will pray to God. You maybe do not believe that God exists, but that it doesn't matter. He knows that you exist, okay? And you just pray. You just say, oh, please, God. That was my story, guys and women over there. Come on, that was my story. I met Christian women in the bus. I was down. I was depressed. It was awful. I lost my career. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost everything. I was a business woman. I was really rocking hard. I was on the Oracle conventions. I was traveling the world. Honestly, I do not have to lie about that. Those are pictures that I will not post because I do not have a hijab, okay? But I was there in San Francisco Oracle conference. Everybody knows about that. There were Tesla cars and everything, and I was just going on for me for so bad. I was doing it so good. I was earning so much money. And then it was lowering and lowering points and points after a point, lowering moments for me one after another. And I was so depressed. Beautiful, intelligent, looking so good, but depressed, sad, alone, lonely. And you know what happened to me? I just sat on the bench and waited for a bus. I sat down and I smoked a cigarette. I do not smoke anymore, thank God. But I smoked that cigarette. Okay? And then next to me came one really nice woman. average age. And since I was pretty raised nicely and raised to be polite and everything, I think that it was not all a facade. I felt it, so that's really nice. It's nice to feel that what are you saying, that you really feel. And I just told her, okay, is it all right for you that continue smoking? Does it bother you? And she said no. And I just smoke and just bother my thing, do my thing, and whatever. And then she just told me out of the blue, she just told me, I have a message for you. And I was like, a message for me? I was not even that surprised, because I was raised a Muslim when I was a little girl, but I did not practice it so much. I didn't understand why to practice. I didn't understand why is that for? Why do I have to do it? Do I need to do it? What will happen if I don't do it? I didn't understand the concept. Now I do. I wish that everybody does. And I just, but I was not surprised, as I say, because I'm used to on spirituality, because I was always on some spiritual journey, and I was even when working hard and doing business and my own businesses, I was just doing spiritual stuff. It was just part of me, and I said okay, but then when we got into the bus, she said, "Oh, I forgot." We sat across one another. She sat in front of me, and I sat like this. And just she said, I'm sorry, I forgot. I hope I will remember the message that I have to deliver to you. I said, okay. And I was just sitting over there. And she could not remember until the last station. Until the last station. And we got out of the bus, and she said, oh, I remembered. Open your heart to God. Subhanallah. And I was so desperate. I was so desperate. And I said, like, and I looked at her, thanked her, and I moved on. I was moving to my apartment, and I just was looking to the sky and just said, God, I'm opening my heart to you. And that's where my spiritual transformation began. And it does hurt. It is really struggling. It is really hard. I have been through fear and depression and anxiety and low points and losing everything. But I think that was just taken away from me so I can be given with bigger, better for me. And even when somebody, if you know what, you probably know what I'm saying. When somebody say you will get what is the best for you, and you are so frustrated. I'm so frustrated when somebody tells me you will get what is best for you. Really? What's the best for me? And I'm sure you're probably, all of you, or maybe majority of you, are frustrated. But let's not call it that way. Let's call it love. I love my child so deeply. How many of you love your child so deeply? You are ready to change yourself and everything about you to be a good mother, to educate your child. Very good. You're so ready to educate yourself, to educate that child. You started everything possible to be better and more competent for that child. And there are some people who say, you do not do that for that child. You should do it for God. So, oh God. God have gave you that child to make you work on yourself. God have gave me whatever in my life to start working on myself. And when they say the best, it is the best. We have the best children. They're wonderful. Alhamdulillah. They're beautiful. They scream, they yell, they kiss you, they love you, they hug you, they do so many stuff. And they're wonderful. They're really the best. Because God gives you such a thing that you love so much that you just say, God, please help me that I raise this child good. It's a gift from you to me. I do not deserve it, but it's wonderful. It's so sweet, and those little cheeks, and that little nose, and those little lips, and that cute, beautiful eyes. Alhamdulillah, Allahumma barik. And that beautiful hair, and that beautiful touch when it touches you, and everything that does, it just melts your heart. It just crushes your soul so hard that you have to do everything in your power to be the best you, to be the best to that child. And that's Allah's love and mercy for us. Really, when you get a person in your life, it's a miracle for you. Somebody say, oh, it ruins my life. Yeah, I have a person also that I think deeply, that crushes me, and it hurts me in so many levels that I cannot even explain. I'm sure everybody does. But you know what? Even that person is the best. Because if that person is not like that to you, you will never learn any lesson. You will not start reading that book. You would never watch this video. You would never go to that class that you're going. You would never, ever go to whatever you're doing or taking or learning or reading, because if you did not felt that pain. I really hope that your pain and everybody's pain are not like those in Gaza. I really hope. I really hope that you are provided with motivation as our children are to us and should be. I hope that you are provided with such a feelings and emotions within you that you just have to do something for you to make those things go away. Let's not call it comfort zone, because I'm sure you're sick and tired of comfort and not comfort zones. Let's call it pain. Let's call it fear. Let's call it feeling stuck. Let's call it people who do not treat us nice. Let's not call it narcissistic, manipulative, whatever. Let's just call it really hard to deal with. Let's just call them people who hurt us so much that we don't know what to do in this moment. Let's call it any other word that suits you, but it just motivates you, and it should motivate you to be better and to get out of that. Getting out of that, it's does not mean I have to get out now. It usually means that I have to work on myself so much that it never happens to me again, or both, can be both, that I work on myself, so I transform, and everything and everybody else in my life will transform. Maybe some people will stay, maybe some people will go. It's okay to understand that there are some people that will go, and we are okay with that. Let go of everybody. Just pray to God that you keep your children with you, that you are healthy and your children are healthy, that you live abundance, and that you have enough to be satisfied and not to be in pain and in worry how to provide for you and your children. And inshallah, that will be enough. And then when you have all that health for you and your children, and when you have enough for you to for rent and for roof for your head and for bills and for your food and clothing, and you're pretty much just fine. And then after that you can build a fortune. You can build empires, if you will. But those are basic things that we go from a minimum to the big businesses or empires or whatever we want in our lives. I really wish you all the best.